Okay, so let's look at how it works when we have three-phase motor here like this, and then we want to wire a direct online starter for this motor. So you have your contactor 1, 2, 3, 4, then the output 2, 3, 4. So just like previously we said, this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, and this is labeled 13. Then when we come to the output side, we have T1, T2, T3, and then the fourth contact is labeled 14. All these contacts are normally opened and linked together. Okay, so this is the contactor, but there is another component in the contactor that helps to make the contacts attract, just like we did previously. So that is the contactor coil. We can also put it here like this. The contactor coil has terminals labeled A1 and then A2, just like previously. But here in this case, we have line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay, so let's say we are using an overload relay. So that 1, 2, we have 1, 2, 3. Then on the overload relay, we have other terminals, but we are interested in one particular terminal that is normally closed, and that is labeled 95 and then 96. You get that? So here the relay goes into the output of the contactor, and then the output of the relay is also labeled T1, T2, T3. So for our power circuit, we have T3 will go to motor, T2 will also go to motor, T1 will also go to motor. You get it? So we have L1, L2, L3 to the motor. Usually these three lines will be coming from a breaker or an isolator somewhere, or a main switch somewhere. In that main switch, we should have an earth terminal in the main switch. So from that earth terminal, we will pick one earth connection, and then we connect it to the motor. So this will be earth. So we have L1, L2, L3, and then earth. So that is how it works. And then with the control wiring, if you are using a three-phase motor, because we are using three-phase motor, and then we will not need any neutral to be connected here. When you are going to wire a direct online starter for a three-phase motor like this, it is advisable that you go for a contactor that has 400 volt coil. So they are usually labeled 380, but it is in the same range. So anything between 380, 415 should work well. Okay, so earlier, because we were doing single phase, we went for a contactor with 240 volt coil or 230 volt coil. Here, if you go for a 240 volt coil, you can still wire it. But then, what happens is that just because of this coil, because the coil is 240, you would now have to go and look for neutral. But if you have a 400 volt coil, there is no need for any neutral. So it means the three lines that we extend to this particular location to wire the direct online control for this motor, we can make use of only these three lines if we have 400 volt coil. If we have a 400 volt coil, this is how the wiring is going to be. Just like before, we will have a stop push button, which is normally closed. Then we have a start push button, which is normally open, usually labeled 1, 2, and then the start usually labeled 3, 4. So this is stop, this is start. Okay, so just like we did previously, we loop a live line from here, and then it comes to the stop. Then from the other terminal of the stop, it goes to one terminal on the start. So let's say from the output of the stop button, it came to terminal 3 on the start. From this terminal 3, we will take another connection. I said before that we have this extra normally opened contact here, so that we can be able to wire the control in a way that when we start, it will hold until we intentionally stop it. Is that okay? That is why this contact is here. So from number 3 here, we go to number 13, but then we also have to make use of this overload relay. This is overload relay. Alright, in the previous lessons, we wired this one in a very simple way. So before this wire came here, we passed it through 95 and 96. Now, this is another way that we can do this control wiring through the overload, and it works the same way. This wire that is going to number 13 will then have to come to 95, and then from 96 before it goes to number 13. You've gotten the concept now. So it's the same thing. Anytime this thing opens, this coil will be energized, because there will not be continuous current flow from here to number 13. Then from number 14, just like we did previously, we are coming to terminal 4 on the start. So we'll take it through here, then we come through here, we come through here, we come through here, to number 4. From this terminal 14 on the contactor, we will need to take a connection to one terminal of the coil. Now, if you observe carefully, you see that this connection we are taking from here, we can trace the same connection to number 4 here. Okay? Practically, when we are doing this wiring, you take that connection from number 14 here, because this coil is on the same contactor. So it's actually closer to this terminal than the stop button. Now I am going to take that connection from here. So when you are doing the actual wiring, you take that connection from here shortly to the coil. So now I would rather take that connection from here to come through here to come to terminal 4 on the start. You get that? Now we will have to complete the circuit of the coil by connecting a second wire here. In the previous lesson, we connected neutral here because we needed live and neutral to power that 240 volt coil. Now that the coil is 400 volts, we need 3-phase to power it. Okay, so here we are not going to take another neutral, but rather another line. So you can see that it is line 1 that we use to do all these connections. So when we come here, we need to take either line 2 or line 3 to complete this coil circuit. Okay, so we can take line 2 from here, line 2 from here, then we can pass it through here, we can pass it through here to this coil. If you have a 3-phase motor, you make sure that To make the wiring very easy and cost effective, get a contactor with a 400 volt core.